The children will grow, and it's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Redskins offense led by their new quarterback, Case Keenum. Keenum, a guy who's seen his fair share of highs and lows in this game. The high likely his 22-touchdown season for the Vikings in 2017, and a low probably being traded by Denver after one 6-10 season. But here he is, ready to rock and roll.
Coming to you, coming to you. Jumping.
They run with Adrian Peterson, the second active leading rusher in the NFL. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, go, Roger. One set. Check right 54. Right 54. Watch the backer.
Working from the gun, Keenum. And Davis with it left side. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Shotgun snap for Keenum. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here comes Kirk Cousins and the rest of the Minnesota Vikings offense. This crew 1-1 through 2 weeks of the NFL season. But you look at Kirk's numbers, they're kind of strange through 2 weeks. And no need to panic because the Vikings are 1-1, but not typical Kirk Cousins numbers.
No, I would agree with that. Now, in the first game against Atlanta, he didn't have to throw the football. They ran it effectively, so he threw it 10 times. But at Green Bay, 14 of 32. 14 of 32. And remember, last year he was a 70% thrower. The biggest problem for him and the Vikings, big games. He was brought in to win them. That didn't happen at Green Bay in week 2.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. Well, let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And running back Dalvin Cook was drafted in 2017 to be the lead runner for the Vikings, and he should love what they're putting in for him in 2019. This is a run-first, run-heavy offense as dictated by their head coach. Dalvin Cook should get more than enough carries to threaten 1,000 yards rushing this season.
On 2nd and 7, Cousins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him think. He made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then curls back inside for the completion.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Leave it. Bring up 48. 61. Matchbox lights. Yellow. Smooth.
On 2nd down, Cook. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Mike 53. Hey, Ringo 48. Watch the pass. Switch. Pilot, 64, weak.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. Cousins, open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on fourth down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on fourth down here early in the game.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
Running the jet sweep. This is Thielen with it. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And now a look at the Washington defense.
That corner is Josh Norman. I would think he would want to quibble a little bit. Actually, you know Josh would have a full discussion with the metrics people who say that maybe he's not the elite lockdown corner he thinks he is. He would say, ask all the receivers in the NFC East. They would think differently because a day against Josh Norman is a very difficult day for any receiver.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's third down.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost, and now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. Here's Cousins. That is caught inside the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage, but now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, it'll have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. This Washington defense, they've stood tall the first 2 plays. Now third and goal. They'll run it. Here's Cook. Now he'll take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They saw their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Washington trotting back out onto the field here offensively. And, Charles, this is a team that you've seen personally weeks 1 and 2, both close division losses. What do you make of the 0-2 start for the Redskins?
They played a lot like I expected going into the season. I use baseball term for them. Good field, no hit, meaning I expected their defense to maybe be a top 5 defense in the NFL, and their offense might struggle a little bit. Well, against Philadelphia, the offense played really well in the first half, completely shut down in the second half. They lose a close one. Then against Dallas, they take the lead right away. Then Dallas comes back with a big rush after that. The defense hasn't played up to the standard I expected, but they're not going to be an easy out for anyone all year long.
Defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still second down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Peterson, by the way, passed Jim Brown for 5th on the all-time rushing touchdown list with his 107th this past week. Next up, number 4, Walter Payton has 110.
Jim Brown, Walter Payton. Adrian Peterson's name ranks right there with those guys. That tells you about his career. He came back in this game really wanting to prove something, because remember, week 1 in Philadelphia, a healthy scratch for the first time in his career. Now with the injury to Darius Geis, he becomes a lead runner again for Washington. Look out. He's going to run really, really tough.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Keenum on target to McLaurin. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Terry McLaurin there to make the grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. It took a pretty big risk right there going for it on 4th down, but hey, not only did they get the first down, forget about that, they got in the end zone.
Yeah, because normally you're just thinking, can I get enough yardage to get it past the sticks and pick up a first down? Instead, they go for the end zone and get it done with no margin for error. Remember, 4th down, they went for it.
Possession going back over to Minnesota here. And CD, earlier we talked about Kirk Cousins, and in week 2 him only being 14 of 32 throwing the football. And with that Week 2 loss against Green Bay, they're now 1-1. Now, there was at least a sign of fight in Week 2 because they got down 21-0 early in that game.
Yeah, they get it.
He's got it with the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 75 yards. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Barely got the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Keenum and the Redskins now going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And a heavy rush, and down he goes. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Two-jet bombers. Two-jet bombers.
To throw is Keenum. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now Keenum. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they look to throw. And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time, it yields a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems. And this qualifies as a big problem.
Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-point drive last time. See if the defense, they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run. 53 to Mike.
Cousins to throw. Incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and it's 3rd and short.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Looking out of the gun, Cousins, and he's able to find Diggs. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Vikings 1st down, Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Fans And a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Are you okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut it down otherwise.
Outside that, you're exactly right. I would say they contained him very well. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
We've got know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Bring up 48. 53's mine. Check 53. Where's your hot? Mike, 53.
They'll run with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that. And carry it into the second half.
Another shot from the 1 on second and goal.
53, Mike 53. Hey, can't. Hey, can't. 53 to Mike, 53, check. Hey, orbit.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Some people call it a shuffle pass. Some people call it a shovel pass. All you're trying to do is open up the middle of the field, flip the ball forward. In this case, they didn't gain any yardage.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and goal.
Yo. Hey, Team 6. Mike 55, Mike 55. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school.
The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. From the 3-yard line again, they'll try and punch it in here on 3rd and goal.
Hey, Steamer. Check right. Hey, wahoo. Let's go right here Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Here we go. What's that? Here we go. 55 is Mike, guys, 55. Lucky 48. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Hey, no, easy. They just do get the play off. Now Cousins. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And barely able to knock it through. So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get right back out to Brandon Gott.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they're leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly a
Stephon Diggs, the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his second touchdown of the night. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind. Because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down.
And got his man complete. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson, 79 yards. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. We were just saying off-air during halftime, could they mount a comeback, and how would it start? Well, it started in a hurry.
Yeah, they have to get back into the game, right? So if you're going to do that, you think to yourself, we need points right here on the opening drive. But even in their best game plan, did they expect it to be a one-play drive and put the points on the board? Probably not.
No, probably not, but they got it in a big way. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 15 yards on the play, first down.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they were able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of the 1st down.
Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know. Check 99. Black. What's that?
To the air again, it's Cousins. Left side, caught by Diggs. And he's taken down inside the 30. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a 1st down. He's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And they're working inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
53, check 53. I got him.
Here's Madison running on 1st down. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
I don't think you got it, son.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. Again, it's Cook. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. Now the defense going to use the 1st of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Bailey's kick is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Keenum and the Redskins now going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
We're good.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. But they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
55. Hey, man.
Now it's Keenum. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a first down on a gain of 10. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
54. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
They'll run on first down. It's Thompson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
To throw is Keenum. Well, this is intercepted. He was trying to give it to Davis. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They start the drive with Cook. Well, I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Play fake. Cousins. And complete. Right side to tight end Rudolph. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins 43. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle and inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again. Mike 55.
On first down, it's Cook. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Cousins throw complete to Thielen. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And Rudolph has it, the tight end. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Mike Zimmer's made his decision, and that decision is to try and go for this thing on 4th down.
Hey, echo. 53's the mark. 53. Check 53. Coming this way. Coming this way. Here we go. Zebra. Check. Where's your hot?
Now Cousins on 4th down. He's going to complete to Diggs right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll give when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
36. Bring up 48. General West. First. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Five.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. That is caught right at the 10-yard line.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick. He's been decisive. And he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times and 8 chances. This time, they will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You can see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know, you just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end, but feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Watch the slack.
Throwing now is Keenan. He's going to let it fly. Well, this is taken in. It's complete.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
On 1st and 10, here's Keenan. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. Now the Redskin offense will stay out there and go for 2.
Mike 5-4. Come off the ball.
From the gun, Keenum. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. So trying to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
We got this.
And now out comes Minnesota.
And still a little bit of time left, but the defense can't stop the clock. So 3 kneel downs should be enough to finish this one off.
And we'll see if the defense wants to stop it as they take the knee.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and the people who really enjoyed this game, they're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.